Okay, each unit on the map represents 5 miles. So if we find the number of units between oceanfront and seaside, between here and here, uh, we will be able to multiply it by 5 to find the number of miles it is, because each unit is a mile. Okay, excuse my cold. Struggling a little bit today. But let's write the coordinates of these points first before we do anything else. Seaside is at -2 comma 4, -2 comma 4, and oceanfront is at 3 comma -2. Oops. Yeah? And we need to find the distance. So we're going to use distance formula. So I'm going to just lock all these into place, group them together so that I can zoom in. So if we got these points, we're going to start out by writing the distance formula, okay? And the distance formula is d is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then we rewrite it. And when we rewrite it, we just say wherever there's a variable, we're going to now put parentheses. So we say, we got to put brackets here because we're putting parentheses inside for x2 minus, here's parentheses for x1 squared plus, there's going to be y2, there's going to be y1 squared. Okay? And what are those values? Well, I'm going to scroll to move to check. The first point we've got is -2 comma 4. So we say -2 comma 4, okay, for point number 1, and then 3 comma -2 for point number 2. 3 comma -2. 3 comma -2. Now that when we simplify these, 3 minus the -2, which is 5, we get 5 squared plus -2 plus 4, that's -6. I'm sorry, it's not -6. My mistake, it is 2. Foggy brain here. I always make mistakes too sometimes. So, and then we further simplify this by saying 5 squared is 25 plus 2 squared is 4, and we get the square root of 29. Okay, and the square root of 29, I'm going to do it to a couple of decimal places. Let's see, turn it on. We say square root of 29, and we get approximately 5.385. I'm going to write that. Approximately 5.385. The reason that I'm not rounding it yet is because I want to then take that number, 5.385. They told us that it's 5 miles for every unit, so I multiply it by 5. So 5.385 times 5 is about 26.925. Okay, so 26.925. Okay, when we multiply it by the 5 miles to the unit. Now, if I shrink this back out, I'm just going to actually put a box around this to just to say that that's the number we want to examine when we're looking at our answers. And when we look at our answers, something ain't right. What did I do wrong? 3 minus -2, -2. Aha, silly me. Did you see my error? Must have been driving you bonkers if you did. And I'm going to leave my error in here because this is a great find the error problem. Did you see what I did? I miswrote this. I was imagining this plus here when I wrote that as a plus, and that's not actually a plus. That should be a minus. So we're going to zoom in on it, and we're going to fix that. Okay, my mistake, so sorry, but luckily I've written all my work down so I can go back and I can just examine it and change it. My mistake was writing that as a plus, and it should be a minus. And I wonder where my brain came up with -6 earlier. So let me go back and change this. This should be -6. And then this should be 36. Which then becomes the square root of 61. Which is approximately equal to, let's see, square root of 61, 7.81, approximately equal to 7.81. And then when I put that number in up here instead of what I had there, I'm just going to get a different answer here. 7.81. And I get 39.05. And as you can see then down on the bottom, now it makes sense what answer we've got, because 39.05, more or less, we had rounded it off, is about 40 miles. I hope that watching me make that mistake, rather than being infuriating, was a little bit enlightening, that you can just see a slight little calculation error doesn't work out. And I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't multiple choice, which means that you got to be really careful because you're not always going to be given the answers. So yeah, there it is.